Today I'm going to be talking about why community college actually isn't that bad, and I'm going to be pulling from my own experiences and how my first year of college was going to a community college, and just sort of reassure some people, because I know that it is the end of the school year, and with everything going on, I don't really think that it's probably the smartest decision to open up larger campuses, or if they are opening up, to go there, because we don't really know what's happening as far as people being able to be places with large amounts of people in the near future, or even by next fall. I wanted to make this video because going to community college wasn't something that I was really happy to do at first, and it was actually something that I felt sort of ashamed of doing. So I kind of want to fix the perception that people have of community college a little bit. So I didn't know that I was going to community college. I shouldn't say that I didn't know. I didn't accept that I was going to community college until about 3 weeks before graduation. So it was about this time last year. I had just graduated from high school in 2019, and I graduated at the top of my class in high school. I was in a bunch of AP classes. I was in the IB program. I graduated from the IB program. For me, from the very start going through high school, I knew that I wanted to go to just a really nice college, and I wanted to continue my education. School is very important to me. So I just did everything I could from the beginning to assure that I would be able to be accepted into a very nice school and be able to go there and everything be fine. I applied to, I think, 3 or 4 universities, and I got accepted into all of them. The problem came though with financial aid. As we all know, college is very expensive, and I could not pay for it. Honestly, now being one class away from being done with my degree now, just a year later, I think that it was actually smart in the end for me to just go to community college, because I got my degree really fast and I was able to pay for it out of pocket myself, and it just sort of eliminated any extra complications. Alright, so I want to make my point as quickly and clearly as possible, so I'm just going to get to it. A lot of people don't like the idea of community college for a few reasons. I think the main reason, at least in my community, was that everyone wanted to get out of town. I think for a lot of people, community college means that you're going to be going to the college that's in the town that you already live in. And for a lot of people, once you graduated, they were ready to go. They wanted to leave town. They wanted to go to a different state, go to school, start a new life. Understandable. My thing about going off to college was that I felt like, for me personally, I needed that time away from, my family, away from the people I just graduated with, to blossom into the person that I wanted to be, or the person that I felt like I was and wasn't able to be. Because once people already have a perception of you, it's really hard to develop, and it's hard to change yourself, because you feel like you need to meet these expectations that people have for you. And so I was really heartbroken whenever I found out that I wasn't going to be able to go. I say found out, when I finally accepted the fact, because girl, we knew from the beginning I was not about to pay for any of these schools. Problem was that everything is need-based, and in comparison to other people, I'm not as in need as they are, which I totally understand and I'm not mad about. It was just unfortunate that because of how expensive college was, but because I wasn't as in need as other students, I wasn't really there was nothing really there to help me. Even though I stayed in town, I still met new people, I still took new classes, I still found out new things about myself and tried new things. So it's still possible, even if you stay in the town you're living in. I am a theater major, so I wanted to go to a big university because I felt like that's what I needed to be able to go somewhere where the theater program is actually really, really big. It's welcomed, it's embraced, and a lot of people want to be a part of it, and a lot of people support it. Well, fine arts isn't as appreciated in high schools, especially where I grew up. People weren't really checking for us theater kids throughout high school. So I was just excited to go somewhere new and go somewhere where there would just be more people, and I would be able to grow more, and I would be pushed more to become, better at my craft, because there'd be other people like me around. I thought that I wouldn't be able to get that with community college, and I actually did. The community college that I ended up going to luckily does have a theater program, and it's a really, really nice theater program. My skills were definitely tested. There were definitely people in my classes who were really, 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 really advanced, and I appreciated that because, you know, it was just nice to see other people practicing their craft and becoming better at their craft, and also influencing myself to become better at what I really wanted to do and give myself more confidence. And I was stepping out of my box more, and I was trying new things and all that stuff. So that is possible at a community college. I took a few core classes. I took a couple science classes, one in person, one online. I took a psychology class. I took some government classes, just stuff that I needed for my degree. Because a lot of my school was online, because I just chose to take online classes for topics that I felt like were easier. So I don't think that I have a very good understanding maybe of what it might be like to sit in a college class, or at least the way that people already see college classes. I didn't really experience that as far as core classes or classes outside of my major. To sum it up, I definitely think that I learned just fine. I don't think that community college is any lower as far as what you learn in comparison to bigger universities, which is something that I did believe. So like I said, I did work very, very hard throughout high school to try and make this college process a lot easier for myself and open up more doors for myself that I didn't end up being able to walk through, unfortunately. And for me at the time, I was most heartbroken, and now I can admit it because I've grown from it and I've learned, but I was most heartbroken because I felt like I fought through high school and put myself through all these programs and all these super hard classes and all this stress, and I was trying to work at the same time, and I was trying to do extracurriculars at the same time, and I felt like I was ending up in the same college that, to be blunt, anyone could walk into. That was my mindset. I thought that, I guess I felt like I was on some sort of higher pedestal than the other kids, or, you know, a lot of the other kids that I graduated with. Part of me felt like I was more deserving than other people to go to these bigger schools. Like I had worked harder for it and I deserved to be in their spot. And that's really, I'm no one to say that, you know, I'm no one to say that I deserve something any more than anyone else, and that's something that I've definitely grown from, and that's why I'm able to admit it at this point. And because I know that there are probably other people who feel this way too, and I think that it's important to understand that community college is not a punishment, okay? It's college still. College is college. Education is education. To be frank, you don't even need to be in college to educate yourself, to learn. It's really important to understand that community college is not a punishment, and that's what I felt it was. I felt like, why me? Out of everyone, why didn't things work out for me? And I felt that way for a very long time, all the way up until the point that I started going to school. As far as college life goes, I think that a lot of people are probably concerned about not being able to go to football games or parties or find new groupings of friends to hang out with. And as far as like sporting events, you did not catch me at one. My school, I don't think that they had any official sports teams, but they did have I don't remember the word, but basically you could create your own teams and just play for fun in different events. So they did have stuff like that, and to my knowledge it was pretty popular. People attended those functions. I didn't, but I'm sure people were there. I went to one college party during fall semester, and that was all I needed. It was not for me, and I probably will not be doing that again. I did meet a lot of new people. As far as friends, I'm not the best example to go to for this, because when I'm in school, I'm really just focused on school. Like every once in a while I'll get sad because I feel like I'm not getting out enough, or I'm not being social enough, but I can really only focus on so much at once. And when I get my mind set in these credits and in this GPA, it's really hard for me to keep up with a social life at the same time, but that's just me. But I will tell you that it's possible to have it, because I did have it for a while. There was a period where I was out all the time with people, and it tired me out in fall semester. So when spring semester came around, I wasn't doing nothing. I was not doing nothing with nobody. I took 5 classes and I minded my business spring semester. So my point is, all the fun things that people sort of look to college for, you can still get that out of community college. The only difference in a community college most likely is that you just didn't leave the town that you were in. And people go to community college outside of their towns too. So, I mean, if that's an option for you to move away, if you just really want a change of scenery, definitely go for it if you're able to do so. But if you still end up going to community college, just understand that there are still real students, real people going to these schools. We're all normal people taking normal classes. It's really just, I think, on a smaller scale than maybe a university. Obviously there aren't as many students and it's not as big of a campus. Pricing is probably the most important point that I'm going to talk about in this video. So the reason that I didn't go to a big university was because the schools that I was accepted into, I did get some scholarships, but the scholarships were specific to the schools. And so like a school that maybe was like, I don't know, like $10,000 a semester would give me $2,000 per semester. So it's like, who got $8,000? Because not me. For whatever reason, I thought I was going to go to this private school that was $60,000 a year because they were giving me like a $40,000 scholarship. Please scam someone else. Please scam. So where am I going to get 20,000? I feel like this is a tangent, but I feel like if everybody's getting the $40,000 off, like the like acceptance tuition scholarship thing, you could take $40,000 off of everyone's tuition. Your school is only worth $20,000 to be here in the first place. Like, please give me a real deal. Give me a real deal, and then maybe I'll be able to come next semester. School that I go to costs, I think, $90 per credit hour. I think that I was taking 18 each semester. It varied from either 3 credits per class or 4 credits per class, so my price and my number of credits varied. As far as pricing, I am someone who still lives with their parents. At the moment, 2 jobs. They're both in fast food, girl. So we ain't making that much, okay? I was able to pay for classes for the summer. Right after I graduated high school, I took 3 classes, and that was maybe like 800 something, 900 something with books. Fall semester classes were paid for, and that was 5 classes plus books, materials, whatever. And then spring semester classes were paid for, books and materials. And I don't know, I guess that can maybe give you a little bit of insight if you're worried about if you can swing paying for these things or not. To put it in kind of perspective on how much classes like community colleges can cost. And also I am I don't know what you would even call it, like in-state tuition. You know, tuition's different depending on where you live or how far away from the school you live. But it was definitely just more manageable and more realistic, honestly, for me to just go to community college at the time. So to wrap this video up and to just give some last minute reassurance to anyone who may be understanding now that for whatever reason they probably will be attending a community college their first semester of college, campus life is definitely still possible. The education you're going to get is the same, if not very, very similar to the education that you would get anywhere else. We all across the world are taking the same online classes with the same textbooks, with the same Quizlet flashcards, girl. So don't think that maybe you're not going to get the best education, because at the end of the day, the education you get can always be enhanced by, you know, you using outside sources. Community college is not a punishment, and honestly, I consider myself now very, very lucky to be able to have attended college in the first place, whether it was here or in another country or in another city, wherever. I was someone who saw last minute, or who I accepted last minute, that I wasn't going to be going where I really, really wanted to go. And I can scrape together something with a little bit of help. I did have some help from my parents in the very beginning, until I could sort of handle it myself. I was able to come out last minute, late in the game, and register for the school and register for classes. And now a year later, I am 1 class away from having my degree, and then in December possibly having another degree. I'm very, very lucky, and I think that if you are in a position similar to the one that I was in before, it just takes some stepping back and realizing that this isn't given, that none of this is given, that there are a lot of people who would probably love to be in the position that I was in at the time. who would love to be in the position that I'm in now. And I don't know, sometimes you don't always have to compare yourself to other people, but you know, I guess that was just my way of looking on the bright side for my situation, and it helped me a lot in the end, and here I am. Hopefully I was able to answer any questions that people might have had about community college. I didn't really plan this out. I just sort of let myself get up here and talk about whatever came into my head. So hopefully I hit every point that I'm needed to hit. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye.